I call this meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. I call session 11 of the Senate to order at 7:01 p.m. Please rise to your label.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Balisberry.
Present.
Senator Barry.
Present.
Senator Irwin.
Present.
Senator Curbs.
Present.
Senator Esterhol.
Yeah.
Thank you. Present. Senator Craig.
Present.
Senator Langham.
Present.
Senator Michael.
Present.
Senator Massini.
Present.
Senator Nielsen.
Present.
Senator Pacheco.
Present.
Senator Rattel.
Present.
Senator Rice.
Present.
Senator Rosas. Present. Senator Russell.
Present.
Senator Smith.
Present.
Senator West.
Present.
Senator Wiesenen.
Present.
Speaker Bennett.
Present.
Right, and with that, we'll move into special orders, beginning with the appointment of 2 off-campus Senate seats. Is anyone interested in off-campus Senate? All right, if you could please come up to the podium. I will pass the figurative gavel to the parliamentarians since you don't have notes on this process for today.
Okay, so we will start off with questions for the person running. If you could please state your name and then say a little bit why you want to run, why you want to run for student government.
Well, hello, my name is Jason Zhang. The reason why I really want to run for a position here is because, well, my friends really got tired of me complaining and whinging about the things happening in Whitewater, so I decided, why not step up and do something about it? So I'm not always complaining and whinging my friends constantly. So yeah, there's that. Are there any questions for me?
We'll move into questions. Is there any questions for the candidate this evening?
What are one of the things you'd like to change on campus?
Definitely the food, man. I really hope that this food situation gets sorted out, because from what I've heard that, what's it called? Our contract is planned ended or something. So right now the food situation, personally, is pretty big deal.
Any other questions for the candidate this evening? Senator Nielsen?
How would you describe your leadership style?
Down to earth, for the people, I would say, a people's person.
Senator Irwin?
Have you been involved with any clubs or organizations on campus?
Yes, I have. I've been involved with Chi Sigma Tau, my fraternity, and with the Southeastern Asian organization.
Any other questions for the candidate this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none, we'll move into a secret ballot vote. A vote of aye would be in favor of the candidate joining the Senate. A vote of nay would be against the candidate joining the Senate.
Thank you.
In a vote of 13-3, it's our pleasure to welcome you to the Whitewater Student Government. Jason, if you could please see me after the meeting for more information. And with that, we'll move into the appointment of 2 at-large Senate seats. Is anyone interested in an at-large Senate seat? If I see none, move into the appointment of 1 Drummond seat. Is there anyone interested in the Drummond seat? 2, please approach the podium.
If you could just state your name for us and then tell us a little bit why you'd like to run for student government.
All right, so my name is Heath Houston. I'm currently a sophomore in sociology. So ever since I joined Whitewater, I had a lot of ambition towards being involved on campus and just kind of helping others. And I've heard, I've seen a few kind of posters about student government. I thought that would be pretty interesting. It would be pretty much the ultimate way of representing your campus, being a voice here at Whitewater, which is something I was very interested in. Unfortunately, I just never got around to it until I found the perfect opportunity right now to be a part of this student government.
All right, we'll move into questions. Is there any questions for the candidate this evening? Senator Rice?
What type of leadership style do you have?
So I'm really down to earth. I love hearing different opinions from everyone. I also love to be sort of a moderator, make sure to chime in my own opinions. And I just don't want to be that senator who just sits in the background, doesn't do anything, kind of just collects their paycheck. I'm here to have my voice heard and to make a statement.
Senator Granger?
How would you handle an interaction where you disagree with someone?
I would simply respect their opinion. I would give my opinion. In response, I would be really respectful about it. I wouldn't go out of the way to bash them. That is what divides us here. We need some unity.
Senator Langham?
If you were a tool in a toolbox, which would you be and why?
I'd say a measuring tape, just for precision, balance, and also it's kind of fun to sling around,
Senator Tell?
What's the one thing you would change on campus if you change anything?
Yeah, as part of student government, there's definitely going to be a lot of issues to be heard, and some I am currently unaware about because I'm just a student here. But one thing, as I already mentioned, the food situation. I think there, isn't enough options for vegetarian/vegan eaters. My best friend actively avoids going to the dining halls and waste money on meal passes because there is not enough vegetarian options on campus. So I think that is definitely a huge priority that needs to be changed.
Senator Rosquist?
What are you currently involved in on campus, if you are involved in anything?
So I'm currently in the executive board for NACA, Native American Cultural Awareness Association. I'm the social media coordinator. I'm also involved in Lee Bigelow Lit Leadership Involvement Team. I plan on being as much involved as I can here on campus.
Senator Granger?
What would you say makes you stand out in a crowd?
Just being charming, just kind of just being rational, and being empathetic and understanding, and just kindness.
Any other questions for the candidate this evening? Seeing none, we'll move into a secret ballot vote. Vote of aye would be in favor of candidates joining the Senate. Vote of nay would be against.
carried.
In a vote of 12 to 5, we're happy to welcome you to the Senate, Keith. Please see me after the meeting for more information. With that, we'll move to the appointment of one Esper seat. Is there anyone interested in an Esper Senate seat today? Going once, going twice, seeing none. We'll move to the appointment of 2 Rock County Senate seats. Is there anyone interested in a Rock County Senate seat? Going once, going twice, seeing none. I would like to entertain a motion to move unfinished business S-23-2403 up to more guest speakers for today. Senator Rice.
Motion to approve.
Senator Rosquist. Voice vote?
Appreciation.
Any opposed? Seeing none, we will then move into seeing none, we will then move into unfinished business S-23-2403. Our podium.
No speakers, unfortunately, tell you never did that, so either way you choose is good. Get to see your way.
Okay, hello everyone. So I know last time at the last meeting we kind of brought to introduction the bill. So I kind of just want to go back a little bit and like clarify kind of what the bill is about. So this is about Eid al-Fitr, which is a 3-day Islamic celebration marking the end of Ramadan, which is considered a festival of breaking the fast. The celebration starts with the Eid prayer and followed by many other celebrations, including visiting family, friends, wearing new clothes, and like giving out gifts. At the same time, it's just like a time to enjoy with your family. It's kind of like a version of Christmas and Easter, I would say, and it's very important, just like Christmas and Easter is important to many Christians.
Thank you. With that, we'll move into content changes. Any content changes? Seeing none. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah, so in the 6th, whereas where it says Eid al-Fitr as an official holiday could infringe, I would like to change that to does infringe.
Make this second introduction, please. Senator Trickus.
Second.
Voice vote. Any opposed? Seeing none, it's adopted.
I was gonna say, he is compliant.
Okay.
I have one more. The second, the second therefore be further resolved. After the part where it says application during Eid, it should say determined by building or calendar. That is the same one used to determine Easter.
I'll take a second to that motion. Senator Trickus.
Second.
Voice vote.
Affirmation.
Any opposed? Seeing none, it's adopted. Any further content changes? Senator Trickus.
The first, therefore, be resolved. I'm not a huge fan of, just because passing this doesn't recognize the holiday as a campus holiday. If we could change, like, the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater. Actually, I moved to change the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater to WSG.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Senator Rice.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
If we pass this bill, it doesn't immediately make it a campus holiday, unfortunately. So I think just recognizing that the organization recognizes this as a holiday will help make it an official, recognizing it as official campus holiday.
Associate Director Robinson.
I think this is a point of clarification. This is an S bill, correct? So isn't the ask for the university to change, to recognize it as a holiday? So therefore, I don't think it should be removed. That would be my statement. If we're asking the university to do that, therefore, if I were to be resolved, I think that it should stay. If that's the ask.
Senator Irwin.
I would agree with Associate Director Robinson. We may not have the authority to declare a campus holiday, but the chancellor does, and it will ultimately be his approval, which is needed for the ledge. So since it will be going to him to approve, we should retain it as turning it into a campus holiday.
Any further discussion? Senator Beekman.
I'd like to agree with the past two speakers as, or Speaker Irwin and Director Robinson, because the campus does support other holidays. I believe that this holiday is also important to acknowledge because we are public with all of their beliefs, so why can't we do this one?
Any further discussion on the motion to change that clause? With that, we'll move into a roll call vote. We're
On the motion on this, so I started tonight, I got that.
You're good.
Sorry.
It's team.
Steven. Okay. Senator Ballester.
Aye.
Senator Barry.
I see a point of clarification.
Could you please clarify what a vote of aye and a vote of nay would mean in this particular vote?
A vote of aye, Senator Patrice, can you clarify just so I make sure I'm clear?
Sure. And a vote of aye would be to change University of Wisconsin-Whitewater to WSG, and therefore be it resolved. And a vote of nay would be
In the
to
first,
Chris.
therefore, be it resolved.
Okay. Start over. Senator Ballester.
Nay.
Senator Barry.
Nay.
Senator Irwin.
Nay.
Senator Hasselhoff. Nay. Senator Kurz.
Nay.
Senator Xavier. Okay, Senator Layham.
Nay.
Senator Michael.
Nay.
Senator Mazzini.
Oh, nay.
Senator Wilson.
Nay.
Senator Rodriguez.
Aye.
Senator Rozal.
Nay.
Senator Rice.
Aye.
Senator Rosquist.
Nay.
Senator Russell.
Can I clarify what we're voting on, please?
We're voting on changing the first, therefore be it resolved to say Whitewater Student Government instead of the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater.
So Senator Russell.
Nay.
Senator Smith.
Nay.
Senator West.
Nay.
Senator Wiesen.
Nay.
Speaker Cadmus. Nay. Is that what you said to clarify?
Nay.
Thank you. Senator Granger.
Sorry. Nay.
That motion does not pass, so we will return to content.
It's not a content.
Content, yes.
I've asked for clarification from the Director of University Marketing and Media Relations, Jeff Angelari. I think I just butchered his title. The hyphen is only removed in our name when it's being screen printed or on something that's purchased. So anywhere where UW-Whitewater is, there should be a hyphen from this day forward. So I would just give that to the clerk to make those changes. He said, thank you though for being so diligent.
Thank you.
Do I see any further content changes? Seeing none, we'll move into clerical edits. Any clerical edits? Right, seeing none, we'll move into discussion. Okay, Associate Director Robinson.
I would just say, as a Christian, I would be pretty upset if I had school on Christmas or any big holiday in my religion. So I think it's important that we support others, even though they don't share the same religions as ourselves.
Senator Irwin.
Was any member of the university involved with creating the academic calendar, consulted about making this an official holiday?
No. So no one has been contacted from administrative office.
Senator Rizal.
Yeah, this is just like a clerical edit question. I saw the third therefore that's referred to as E instead of like the full name of the holiday. I'm not sure if that was for any like particular reason.
I'm sorry, can you say it over now?
I'll make the third therefore, it says during E instead of like the full holiday. Like I was just curious if that was for a reason.
Yeah, so yeah.
Okay.
Senator Gravener.
I just had a follow-up on Senator Irwin's question. Should that be the first step in this process, is contacting the administration before sending out bills? As that was my understanding with bills, is that conversation should be had before legislation should be written?
I personally think it's very important that we get this up and running, because this is only the first step of getting this recognized. This is going to take multiple steps. This isn't like a quick process we're done. And I think this is one good great step to move forward in getting that holiday recognized. If we did take the time to talk to the administrative, this would have taken the time away from us getting this passed and getting it on the desk. And I'm fine and happy to have conversations with the administrative about it.
So I serve on the academic calendar committee, and we don't have authority to necessarily like deem what days are on and off, as far as I know. I think it would have to go to the chancellor to approve that, and then that date would be given to kind of be incorporated in the year's calendar. So just to provide some clarification.
Advisor Bill, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but in this, traditionally, yes, what you said, I would say is correct. Usually talking to administrators does come first and then legislation follows. But in this instance, I think it'll be more supportive and more beneficial. It shows that Whitewater student government supports it prior to. I think it'll be a little bit more progression in the process for them if they get support from Whitewater student government, because now it's speaking and it's coming from a standpoint of the students versus an individual board.
Yeah, I mean, either way is appropriate. Either way is appropriate.
Okay. On that note, I'm just curious, like, where we would draw the line to what's acceptable to pass a bill first, or what's acceptable to talk to administration first.
Are you asking me?
And whoever has an answer, I would say, because I feel like it's just a little contradictory to say, like, some things you can talk to administration first, but some things you can pass a bill first. And it's just, I'm just curious where the line would be and if there's certain things that are considered in that conversation.
Sure, I'd be happy to respond to that. So historically, it's the right of the Senate to decide working with the speaker. When this bill was talked about, and there are a couple others that are brewing too, part of it is that the writer of the bill, in this instance, Senator Matheny said, I want to know what my peers want to support before I move forward. And so he took time talking to students, and then now he's talking to this group to be able to say, okay, now that there's some support, now I'm going to go and start talking to administrators, the registrar, the committee that has the authority to change the calendar. So it's one way or the other, but I think in this instance, which is ultimately the senator's choice, right? It made sense because this topic was not on the radar, so to speak, if I hate to use that word, but it's not something that was being talked at administratively. When there are issues that student government is having that are administratively on the agenda or are easily brought to them, those conversations typically do happen first, and most likely they have a conversation with the employees of student government, which are the e-board. So there's not a clear line, it's just about process and how it kind of happens depending on who has those conversations and if it's already on the agenda or known to be on the agenda by folks that are interested in making a change. Is that? Sure.
Senator Beaton.
I'm just gonna ask for some clarification. With some responses, I'm just confused. Is this bill, asking for representation of the holiday or asking for representation and days off? Cause I'm just getting like mixed answers and so, just clarification.
So this is to recognize the bill and to ask for days off. And I think the days off is very important because like Jordan said, Associate Director Robinson, he stated that many people would be very upset if they had to come to school on Christmas or had to come to school on Thanksgiving or Easter and they still have homework and still have to do all these academic obligations. Like for me personally, we've had to do academic obligations even on my holiday when I'm supposed to enjoy it with family.
And then just a follow-up, how many days is the holiday? I guess I'm not entirely sure.
So the holiday is 3 days long.
I'd like to reference the third, therefore be it further resolved. It reads that the school administration shall grant 3 days off from school and academic obligations during Eid to all University of Wisconsin-Whitewater students. I think that might provide some clarification.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, we'll move into a roll call vote.
Senator Ballester.
Aye.
Senator Barry.
Aye.
Senator Irwin.
Aye.
Senator Esserholm.
Aye.
Senator Kurtz.
Aye.
Senator Aye, sorry. Senator Gary.
Aye.
Senator Cunningham.
Aye.
Senator Michael. Pass. Senator Massini.
Aye.
Senator Nielsen.
Aye.
Senator Rodriguez.
Aye.
Senator Rochelle.
Aye.
Senator Rice.
Aye.
Senator Rosequist.
Aye.
Senator Russell. Senator Smith.
Aye, sorry.
Senator West.
Aye.
Senator Wiesenen.
Aye.
Speaker Pettis.
And with that, S-23-2403 passes. And similarly, I will entertain, I would like to ask for a vote for unanimous consent to move, new business item R-23-2412, up below, unfinished business, Senator Rodriguez.
Point of clarification, do we need approval to move around things on the agenda?
I was asked to, so, I can.
So purview of the speaker. Order of the, whatever's on the agenda is to be discussed this evening. Its order is your purview. In my opinion, but ask your parliamentarian.
I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to stay in place. Great. So with that, we'll move into R-23-2412, resolution honoring numerous achievements of Leah Drummond. Hello.
Sorry.
I submitted this bill because I was looking through the Warhawk Weekly, and we all get in our emails, and I was like, I saw the story about all of your lovely achievements, and I kept scrolling through the story, and there were so many things, as we can see from this 2-page resolution. And it's truly an astounding amount of accomplishments that you had in your time here at the university. And so we decided that this was a brilliant cause, especially after receiving the Justice Trophy, to honor your achievements for the university, for your academics, and for the team.
We'll move into content changes this evening. Is there any content changes to the bill?
The third whereas through the rest of them all sound like recognizings to me. So therefore I move to change the third whereas onwards to recognizing.
Is there a second to that motion?
Second.
Alright, Rice.
Point of clarification.
Yes.
Can you explain the difference between whereas and recognizing in this instance?
Just a word difference.
Like, I don't understand why it matters.
I would defer to Supervisor Billigan if you have any insight on this.
Well, I mean, my flippant answer is they're two different words, but it's really to the, they both are mutually, I mean, like, it's the choice of the writer is how I would have said it. I think because it's a hard-coded bill, we tend to use recognizing more in hard-coded bills, but whereas is just as okay. I think they're mutually okay. So it was just the choice that Senator Smith chose to use whereas.
So then, there's a second to the motion, so we'll move into discussion. Is there any discussion on the motion? Senator Rice?
Personally, I would think recognizing kind of just shows like the achievement, like that the word uses like more showing the achievement of it, kind of just like show like the recognizing the achievements that science person and individuals to be. Whereas is like we kind of know it, so yeah.
Is there any discussion points on the motion? Director Gillespie?
I mean, history's past, I feel like whereas has been put in areas where it's more factual data. And I feel like that's what majority of this is factual data. And then recognizing at the very end of all the factual data is bringing it all together and recognizing all the data.
Okay, Director Robinson?
If you change some of those to whereas, we're literally gonna have to go through and do clerical edits on almost all of the ones that we change because the verbiage is set for whereas versus a recognizing. Like, so I think that's a lot of pressure to put on the clerk to basically change every line for a word that's interchangeable. So I think I would encourage the Senate to entertain a motion to keep whereas.
You would encourage them to vote nay.
I encourage them to vote nay.
Yes.
Is there any further discussion on this motion? Director Bradley?
I agree completely with Director Robinson. I'd also like to hear the opinion of Deputy Speaker Smith, the submitter and the writer of this bill.
Deputy Speaker Smith?
I would say largely when writing this bill, and when writing any legislation, I approach the whereases as like the body of my essay. And then I approach recognizing as if it's my conclusion that highlights everything that the whereas backs up. So given that the recognizings discuss what achievements are mentioned prior during the whereases, as well as the recognizings kind of sum up the impact that this has had, I would encourage you to vote in.
Senator Owen?
I would just like to note that looking at the legislative writing guide included at the back of our binders, it seems to me to suggest that whereas is general facts, where recognizing is specific facts. If you check the back of the sheet, it says, for whereas it says to put facts, for recognizing it says who, what, where, when, why, how. So that would suggest to me that recognizings are meant to be more specific than whereases, and that is where the difference lies.
Senator Rice?
When using other bills, like recognizing the 2024 men's wheelchair team, WSG has used quite a bit of recognizing this. So just try to keep it consistent maybe through these recognizing the celebration of our athletes.
So, Director Gillespie?
So as we come to realize, these words are very interchangeable. One thing says do this, one thing says do that. However, I think this little thing is taking away from the achievements on this. So I think this is a great learning experience. However, I think it should say as whereas, leaving it so it's this bill can get put as fast as possible, putting the weight of the achievements that are on here. This little back and forth is taking away from the achievements.
Any further discussion on the motion? I would just, Senator Whedon.
I'd just like to second Associate Director Robinson and Gillespie as whereas is just, it's stating the facts. because there are so many great accomplishments. And the recognizing is saying we are recognizing all of these facts and whereas is as a great accomplishment. So that recognizing just finishes it up. If they were all recognizing, this whole thing would be the end, the end, the end, the end, the end.
Any other discussion on position C? Okay, seeing none, we'll move into a roll call vote. So a vote of aye would be to amend the whereas clauses to read recognizing, and a vote of nay would be to keep it as written. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Senator Ballasteri?
Nay.
Senator Berry?
Nay.
Was that nay or a for clarification, please?
Oh, nay. Sorry.
Okay, Senator Irwin?
A.
Senator Esserholm? Nay. Senator Kurtz?
Nay.
Senator Cravenger?
Nay.
Senator Langham? Nay. Senator Michael?
Nay.
Senator, Senator Nielsen?
Nay.
Senator Patricus?
Nay.
Senator Rattell?
Yes.
Senator Rice? Senator Lopez? Senator Smith?
Nay.
Senator West?
Nay.
Senator Wiesman?
Nay.
Speaker Madness?
Nay.
Um,
Okay, the motion does not pass. Is there any other content changes to the resolution this evening? Senator Irwin?
Motion to add a, therefore be it further resolved, a representative of WSG will inform, Aaliyah of, the resolution's passing.
Senator Irwin, I would ask that,
Yes.
that you withdraw your motion because Aaliyah is actually here in the gallery with us tonight.
Well, then withdraw.
Is there any other further content changes to the bill this evening? Alright, seeing none, we'll move into discussion. Is there any discussion on, clerical edits, is there any clerical edits on the bill this evening?
On the second page, the first whereas, I think there should be a comma after the lead 2024 before the and.
Is there a,
Okay,
okay,
next.
any other clerical edits this evening? Senator Rosquist?
And the and therefore it be it resolved, it says the WSG formally honors, should it be that?
The WSG is correct, that's it.
Yeah.
Any other further content changes to the bill this evening? Okay, going once, going twice, seeing none. We'll move into discussion on the bill. Is there any discussion on the bill this evening? Director Gillespie?
Yeah, this is one of the longest resolutions I've ever seen, and the fact that it's all of your achievements just shows the weight of this. So I hope you, or ask that you pass this bill.
Associate Director Robinson?
I would say it's amazing of a basketball player as Aaliyah is. She's an even better human being. So there's nobody else who deserves to be recognized by a student than Aaliyah in this capacity.
Director Bradley?
Similar to the others, that I don't think we've ever seen a bill quite like this. I don't think we've ever seen an athlete quite like this. So I strongly urge you to pass this bill.
Any further discussion this evening? I would just like to make a point as one of the two submitters. As W. Speaker Smith mentioned, we were just continually scrolling through the website, and there's just more and more and more that we came across, and so we thought it Ms. Cornell was more than deserving of this honor, and I was happy to be a submitter, and I urge you all to vote aye on the bill. Is there any further discussion this evening? Going once, going twice, seeing none. We'll move into a roll call vote. A vote of aye would pass the resolution, and a vote of nay would be against the resolution. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Senator Ballasteri?
Aye.
Senator Barry?
Aye.
Senator Irwin?
Aye.
Senator Esmeralda?
Aye.
Senator Curtis?
Aye.
Senator Cravenger?
Aye.
Senator Langham?
Aye.
Senator Michael?
Aye.
Senator Nielsen?
Aye.
Senator Patricus?
Aye.
Senator Rattel?
Aye.
Senator Rice?
Aye.
Senator Rosquist?
Aye.
Senator Smith?
Aye.
Senator West?
Aye.
Senator Wiesner?
Aye.
Speaker Bettis?
Aye.
And with that, R 23-2412, resolution honoring the numerous achievements of Leah Grunwald has passed unanimously.
If you'd like to stand.
No, I don't. Thank you.
Great, and with that, we'll move into guest speakers, Timothy, Executive Director, and Neil Muldoon.
That's a tough act to follow.
That's standing O, that's kind of hard.
Diane doesn't get that usually? No? Good evening, I'm Angela Muldoon, and I'm she, her pronouns. I'm the Executive Director of the University Center. So my job on campus here is I serve as liaison between campus and our contracted food service. So I think I was here in fall, talked to her, we were at the process. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the process, and then I'm going to introduce Tess, and she's going to talk about what you're going to see here coming up in the fall. So over winter break, we completed the RFP process. We evaluated 3 contracts, one of a programmatic piece and one of a financial piece, which has a formula. They add those points together. That's awarded, whoever has the most points is awarded the contract. The evaluation team talked through that. Last week, Thursday, I was at UW-Platteville at the Business and Finance Committee, and that was approved to move forward with our contract with Chartwell's. So we had Chartwell's 7 years ago, and so we're excited to have them back on campus. I think they're a very different company than they were 7 years ago. We're going to see lots of new things. I think anyone who had a chance to speak with any of our providers that spoke with students over the last year about what students want, you're going to see that come through and what we're able to do in the fall. So that's where we're at in the process. I'm going to turn it over to let Tess Walker introduce herself. She'll tell you what her role on campus is, and then she's going to kind of go over some very high-level bullet points. We do not have everything figured out yet, so we may not be able to answer all questions, but we wanted to make sure you had an idea of where we're going with the future of dining on this campus. And yes, I know dining is always a platform for people to vote on or to campaign against or with, but I think you'll see what people are saying that we're able to address some of those concerns that students have had. So with that, I'll turn it over to Tess.
Hi everyone, I'm Tess Walker. I use she, her pronouns. I'm the incoming resident district manager for Chartwell's here on campus at Whitewater. We are so excited to bring you guys a new dining experience. So one of the biggest changes you're going to see right away when we take over mid-May is rebranded dining. So currently it's UWW dining. It will be changed to Warhawk dining. So social media's going to change, all of that. You'll start seeing Warhawk dining around. So more is coming with that. Kind of like I mentioned, we are looking at revamping the dining experience as a whole on campus. So starting with residential dining, because I know that's kind of a hot button on campus, you're going to see a bit of a facelift in both Drummond and Esker. So Esker is set for remodel down the road, but in the meantime, we're looking at what can we, update for smallwares, what can we do for vinyl wraps, coats of paint, that sort of thing, just to give it a fresh look. Especially when you guys have tour groups coming in, looking for enrollments and all of that, it gives it a better presentation. So that's a big thing that's going to be happening this summer. We have teams coming in to do that. You're gonna see updated menus. So our company places a huge focus on foods that are fresh, foods that are healthy, and foods that are on trend. Our team of central chefs are constantly watching the trends to see what's hot right now. We know food trucks are hot, so we're incorporating things like that in, or certain ingredients. And seasonality will be incorporated as well in the menus that you see in both locations. You're going to see teaching kitchens, so those are experiences that you can take part in our residential dining, where our chef or our dietitian is doing educational pieces on how to cook certain things, or different recipes, or different ingredients. You're going to see a lot of events, so we hope that you all take part in the events that you see across campus. You'll see a lot in residential dining, but you'll also see them all over the place. So our marketing director is dedicated towards set events. We have 4 really big ones that we hope you all take place in as part of our Joyful series. So you have 2 each semester, but they are huge blowout events that are residential dining halls. Giveaways, crafts, all sorts of stuff with that. You're going to see new feedback methods. So we have a website and an app called Dine on Campus, and that's kind of your hub for all things dining. So you can find menus there, hours of operation, any specials that we have going, events. It's all housed in that one app or website. But in addition to that, you will see a feedback form there that actually gets answered. It goes directly to us, and that's something that we try to be very responsive with and answer within 24 hours. In addition to the Dine on Campus site, that's one that you're going to use for longer questions, something that maybe needs a longer, either setting up a meeting or kind of a longer email response. We also have what's called text to chat. So there will be a phone number in each of our locations posted. You'll see it all around. You'll also see it on our Dine on Campus site. But you can text that number, and it sends a text messages to the managers in that area. So it's things like, hey, we're out of ketchup, and then we'll respond to you right away, saying, thanks for letting us know, we're on it. So it gives us that immediate feedback so that we can address the problem if you don't feel comfortable coming up to somebody or you don't see somebody right away. It lets us take care of the problem in the moment versus hearing about it after the fact. And then throughout the year, we'll do different things with surveys to get feedback on what you guys want to see, what you like, what you don't like, so we can adjust what we're doing to meet your needs. So between those 3 and actually our happy or not, you'll also see in the dining halls that's a rating system where you click happy face, sad face, and it gives us kind of a quick indicator of just overall general, 40,000 feet look at how are we doing, where are the trends. If we see that ratings are down on a certain day, we're going to look into what's going on that day and see what adjustments we need to make. So we want to hear from you. We want to make sure that our services meet your needs and that they're up to your standards. In addition to all that, we will have some different things introduced for allergens. So we will be introducing a station called Delicious Without in Esker. This station includes foods that are made without the top 9 allergens. There are a ton of different protocols that we have to follow to make sure that it's safe. We place a huge importance on that, all the way down to doing these swab tests in the station to make sure the allergen proteins are not present. But we look all the way back to delivery and receiving and where products are stored. So there's a lot of things that go into place to be able to have this station. But we want to make sure that our students with allergies are safe and that they have enough to eat. But it is open to anyone. That it's actually one of my favorite stations at the school that I'm coming from. So it does not exclude anybody, that we want people to come to that station as well. I know this was mentioned before, but we are adding a vegan line in Esker called Rooted. So there should be plenty of food to eat for vegan and vegetarian individuals. This last year they featured foods like jackfruit, doing like a full jackfruit sandwich, or vegan chicken nuggets that are actually fantastic and taste like the real thing. So we try to get creative with that, so there's tons of options for those individuals as well. You are going to see some technology updates also. So we are adding digital screens to almost all of our locations. Right now it just has the station name. When we make this change, you're going to see the menu items listed along with things like contains gluten, contains dairy, high protein and high protein items. That's something that students, from their feedback last year, said we want to know what has protein or has a lot of it, because that's something we want in our diet. So our company responded and added that in. All of those signs connect with our menuing program that our chefs use, and it also connects with our dynamic campus site where you look at the recipes. So if our chefs update it in one place, it immediately updates on our menu boards online, so it all matches and should be correct. Along with that, we're introducing mobile ordering to campus. You have it currently at the Einstein's location, but we are looking to expand that. So we're looking to introduce it into residential dining, and we're still working through which stations it'll work at and locations. But the idea is that, you know, if you go to the grill, you can order your grill item ahead of time so it's made fresh for you, and maybe have some additional expanded options for the grill. Other stations too, we're kind of working through that. Retail locations, so we're also looking at expanding those digital ordering options just so you can order ahead. It helps control the lines, helps you save some time so that you can order your coffees at the time that needs to be picked up. You can run by, grab it, skip over the line, get right to class, and be on time. We are currently working through the reusable container to go program, but we do plan to have a reusable container option, so that will be coming as well. In terms of retail, you'll see some changes in Prairie Street Market. One of the ones that we're excited about is expanded hours for Prairie Street, so we're looking to be open until midnight. The Urbits and Gerberts at that location will stay for now, but that concept will eventually be changing to a Global Noodles, which gives you a variety of noodle options. And then we're also looking at changing out the Quesadilla location to kind of like an all-day breakfast concept. I always think of it as like a diner, because we're going to do some dinner options as well. Name to be determined on that. We're working through that right now. So, and then in the market as well, you're going to see an expansion of the options. So they're a bit limited right now. I think there's some extra real estate in that area that we can use to fill with items. And so our team works really hard to make sure we have the top items that students want. When we have planograms for our shelves, they address what are those top selling items, what should we have, what shouldn't we have. So you should see a lot more in the C-stores along with just an updated look. Going over to Drumlin, I kind of touched on a lot of this with residential dining, but we are looking to add a waffle maker dedicated to gluten-free waffle mix, gluten-free cereals. Unfortunately, with that area, we're a little bit limited space-wise on what we can safely do. We never want to overpromise with allergens because that's a very serious matter. And so we'll have some options, but Esker is truly the place, you know, for allergens if you are concerned with that. We are, though, looking at just doing kind of a revamp in Drumlin of the station. So looking at the menu options there. You know, your favorites are going to stay. We're going to have pizza, we'll have pasta, the grill, your comfort line, the Mongolian grill. But we're looking at adding some fun things there, like do certain specials at the Mongolian grill. You know, do we do a taco bar one day? So we're working through all of that now, but I think you're going to see a large improvement in food and the options that are at that location. Highland is going to remain a Starbucks, but we are bringing our Nestle partners in who do the We Proudly Serve to help with training to make sure we're making drinks accurately, that we're offering the full We Proudly Serve menu, which should be pretty close to mirroring the regular Starbucks, and making sure that all of our equipment is calibrated properly for the Starbucks standards. The CA Cafe, your favorite sandwiches will still be there, so don't worry about that, but we are renaming it as Artisan. Just to align a little bit more with the location. But we'll be looking at, you know, again, student choice types of things. If we want to do sandwich specials, you know, we want to hear from you on that. We are currently in the process of re-envisioning Anderson Library. So currently it serves as a small mini market. We're looking at different options to try to expand offerings. So we're working through that and more to come. Williams Center is going to have a digital food hall. So what that is, we call them RADs, or they're like advanced vending machines. So one of them is called Just Baked, where it actually, the food is fantastic. I've had it before from there, but it's a variety of food items. It cooks your food for you from the vending machine, and then it spits it out for you. We're looking at coffee options, and then they're called bite coolers, where you swipe your card and it tracks anything that you take out of that cooler so we can have more variety. And the idea is that food will be available in that building as long as the building's open. So it doesn't have to necessarily be manned. Rock and Grill over at the Rock County campus, we are looking at expanding the options at that grill and just kind of doing an overall revamp of what we're doing there. And then the most exciting thing we want to say for the end is the University Center. So Willie's is going to be changing into a Dunkin' Donuts. We're really excited about it. I think a lot of students, as I've been talking to students coming for tour days, are like, what, you're getting a Dunkin' Donuts? So we're excited about that one. That will be going under construction, hopefully this summer, so we're still working with Angela through the plans on that. So our goal is to open it sometime October, but please keep in mind there's a lot to work through in terms of permits, construction, and all those things that I wish I could snap my fingers and have it magically be done. We're trying to get through that as fast as possible so we can get Dunkin' on campus as soon as possible. We will still have a sushi option, but it's changing to a concept called Wild Blue, so it will be a new company coming in. They have some more expanded options with bubble teas and poke bowls, and similar to what you have now, but just more to it. So you'll be seeing a new look in that area. While Dunkin' is under construction, Einstein's will remain as it is, just so we're not taking too many things offline right away. But as soon as Dunkin' gets done, Einstein's is going to go under construction, and our plan is to turn it into a smart market. And so we're working through that to see if that's going to be a just walkout type of location where you've been to an airport before, you might have seen them, you swipe your card to enter, it tracks anything that you take, and then you exit, charges your card, and it's a very seamless, quick service. So it should help with the lines that you guys currently see. And again, expanded offerings, whole new look. Ike Schaefer Commons, we will continue to do breakfast at Ike Schaefer Commons for next year, and then the all-you-care-to-eat breakfast, and then we'll be doing the lunch as it is now. But you'll see some new stations down there that we're working through currently. So again, just our goal is to add more variety in food, because it seems like it's a lot of the same things everywhere you go. So we want to try to give you guys as much variety as possible. The plan for year 2 is to turn Ike Schaefer Commons into a 3rd residential dining location. So we understand again that campus, there's lots of lines. Campus is extremely spread out, so it's hard to get back over to residential dining when you're at classes. So this will be a more central location for you to get breakfast and lunch is the goal. We're working through plans for downstairs with Heat and Fire. The name will be changing, working through that name too. So there's still some location names that we're working through. But that will be turned into mobile ordering. So there will still be a register for people who have issues with the mobile ordering, but the goal is to truly be mobile ordering only. This will help again with the lines, so you're not going to see lines wrapped around, and get that text message when your food is ready, and it should just help with that speed of service. We're also looking at kind of reinventing some of the options down there, keeping the favorites, but adding some fun things as well. And then meal plans. So you want me to go ahead?
So our voluntary meal plans, our commuter meal plans, still TBD. We're working through that piece because we're making some changes to our weekly meal plans. So we still have an option of 10, 14, 19, or 24, your 50 or 100 dining dollar add-on. So from the surface level, that does not change. So currently when you use your meal swipe in retail, so that's anything outside an all-you-can-eat location, right? We have what we call meal exchange. You look on a chart, these things equal a meal swipe, go to the counter and use a meal swipe. We're changing to meal equivalency. One of the things we heard loud and clear was that we needed to navigate our meal plans much easier. We need to make it easier to educate our students on how to use meal plans. We need to have more access to food. So there's give and takes in all of this. So we're moving to meal equivalency. There are no more hour restrictions. There's no more location restrictions. Here's the change. You'll have $7.50. So if you go anywhere on campus that takes meal equivalency, you'll have $7.50. So if your meal comes to $10, you'll have to use your dining dollars or purple points for the $2.50 and over. But you can get anything you want on the menu, right? So there's our vegan and vegetarians will have more options because it'll be anything that's in that space for them to be able to eat instead of this one option. So it's going to give more variety. When I spoke to the chancellor about this change, because I wanted to make sure we had his support as well as we move forward, we talked a lot about students who move beyond meal plans and learning how to budget and navigate food costs on your own, because it is a lot. Food, unfortunately, is one of the things that coming out of COVID has had the most inflation. So learning the cost of food, I think this will be an educational process too on how to budget and what that looks like. So again, there are gonna be some pros and cons. Year one is gonna be tough because our sophomores are gonna be like, I used to be able to get all of this. And now it won't be restrictive, right, but they're not gonna get as much. But Wilson's promised there will be things under $7.50 on those meal options, or as options of meals for people to get, right? For example, and I'm just throwing this out there, right, maybe you can't get 12 rolls of sushi, but you can get 6, right? So there'll be smaller portion items or things so you can still get that. But you'll be able to get sushi, which is what you're not able to do right now. So I think that's the biggest change in regards to our meal plans. And we're really excited with all the technology changes and things. You're gonna ask me very specifics. I'm not gonna be able to give you answers because we don't have those worked out. We have our trusted colleagues over in the business and dining services to help us figure out all the back of the end with menuing and transact. So still lots to work through, but we're excited to launch the program. There's gonna be some growing pains, we know that, but again, our main goal was to provide more access to food for our students. So with that, and I will leave that to you and how long we want to do Q&A, so.
See what interest is, and then if there's too many, we'll cut off. Senator Craven.
First, I'd like to thank both of you for all of your really hard work on this. We certainly appreciate it. I know I'm kind of bummed that I'm graduating right now because at my old school we had Chartwells and I love Chartwells. So really proud to have you guys back on campus. I was curious with the in the Down Under, you mentioned that that's going to be primarily like mobile ordering. Will that be like only cellular device mobile ordering, or will there have kiosks as well?
So we went round and round about that. So one of the reasons we want to move to mobile ordering is we want to bring more seating. And get rid of the lines, right? So here's the deal. When we get rid of lines, you're still going to wait 45 minutes because everyone wants to eat that food, right? But guess what? You can be in the WSG office, you can be in the WCC, you can be in class, you can order your food. So in order for us to bring back more seating, mobile ordering. So kiosks would bring more lines because everyone would be ordering. But again, as Tess mentioned, we're going to have a register there. So we have a backup of someone. We also have a website. So you don't have to download the app. You can go to the website and also do mobile ordering. I know they're working on getting that put on the website today. So for Einstein's at least to get folks to know, either order off the website or an app, kind of like you do now. Raise your hand if you've ordered any type of food online before, whether it's been an app or food, right? So it'll be very similar. So you gotta need that register for guests and things who may need a little bit of assistance.
When you said 750 to like 750, is that for per day? Like, is your what is that?
Sure, good question. Yeah. So we are not changing meal periods. So right now we have 4 meal periods: breakfast, lunch, dinner, late night. That is not changing. The number of meal swipes you can use is not changing. 1 for breakfast, 2 for lunch, 2 for dinner, 1 for late night. We don't have all the details worked out. So it's $7.50 per swipe. So how and when and where you can use, that's what we're still figuring out. So when you are eating, if you go to Dunkin' Donuts and eat lunch, you swipe $7.50. You can go for dinner to Dunkin' Donuts again, and yes, because we'll be open for that coverage a little bit. You would have $7.50 again.
Got it. Okay, I just wasn't sure if that was. I was just.
And again, your best bang for your buck is a residence hall. So that's right. It's all you here to eat. You get the most options. So really, the focus is increasing options and things to drive people back to the dining halls. Because that's where you will get the most bang for your buck.
It is as more supplemental to utilizing the residential dining, and our goal is to improve the food experience there, so you guys want to be there. And you'll want to show up for the events too.
Senator Esther.
So when it comes to these new vending machines you were bringing up, the current vending machines we have now, you can only use your card, like you can't use meal swipes or purple coins or things like that. Is there any possible way that you could make that change?
Yeah. So current vending machines, no. So it's 2 different contracts. Right. So your snack bags and beverages that are in current vending machines, those will remain as credit card, cash, or purple coins. Machines that'll be the RADs, robotic automated delivery machines that will be in the Williams Center will accept dining dollars. So meal equivalency, TB to D, we still have a lot to learn about these machines. Some of them have not really even been launched on some college campuses a ton, so still learning what that's going to look like, but they should accept dining dollars, yes.
And then, sorry, and that's kind of gonna be a bragging point for campus too, as you guys bring new people. To your point of some of these haven't been launched other places, or you only see them at really large schools. When you bring people in, because we have these robotic machines, so.
Senator West.
I know you said you're gonna add more like allergen-friendly stuff to Esker, but is Esker gonna stay completely peanut and tree nut free? Okay.
Vice President Barnes.
So for the dining halls, will it be $7.50 for like the meal swipe there?
Great question. So meal swipe is a traditional meal swipe. So when you swipe in the dining hall, you have 14 meal swipes, you now have 13. There's no cash equivalency there.
Okay,
So, and then in the all you care to eat facilities.
Yeah.
That's just a true meal swipe, just like you swipe
Okay,
now.
perfect.
But then in the lower levels, in the Herberts and Gerberts and Prairie Street, that would change the meal equivalency.
Okay, perfect.
Yes,
Thank you.
thanks for clarification. I gotta learn all the new language. I said, Tess and I presented, and I was like, I've been saying the same thing for 7+ years. I have to really learn how to get in the group, so this is great practice.
Clerk Wilmington.
So I think we all know about the late night pancake dinners.
Yes, great. We haven't gotten that far, but it is in the contract, so yes. And great segue, May 1st, is that a Wednesday?
Yeah, Friday, no.
No, yeah.
May 1st is the late night breakfast, this semester in Esker, 10:30 start, yes, in Esker.
That's something Charles does at a lot of schools, so I'm not unfamiliar with that at all. And one thing with our marketing plan, I didn't get too in depth with it, just to keep you here all night, but we have a marketing plan that's rolled out by our corporate marketing team. That's kind of like base level. We do all of these events, but then we do things in addition that are specific to our campus. So you should see just a lot more happening, but our goal is to keep the favorite events as well.
I think what it relates to, when I was writing the contract, it was how can you partner with UC Live? Can we do food competitions? Can we do X, Y, and Z? So there's a lot of things that we're hoping you'll see food more than just in typical locations on campus.
Senator Bowser.
Will the food in the Williams Center be similar to like the Smart Market that's replacing Einstein's?
No. Some of the things in the bite cooler might be more grab and go items, but like the Just Bake machine, that's gonna be hot food coming out that's completely different than the Smart Market, where that's more just a convenience store. And then we're looking for beverage options as well with what the space can permit.
Director Brown.
I know the answer to this question, but I still want to ask it.
Thanks.
If I want to buy a $5 sandwich with meal equivalency with a $7.50 swipe, will I receive cash back?
You will not. You have up to $7.50 to use. If you don't use all of it, that's on you. And then if you go over, you will pay the difference.
Like your meal plan, if you don't use your meal plan, you don't get it back.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have a follow-up?
Not a follow-up, separate question.
I believe I saw a question in the gallery. Yes.
So recently, at least through this year, I've seen multiple instances where, like you say, like Herberts or Gerberts is closed because there's a staffing shortage. Are there any plans to alleviate problems like that?
Yeah, I've had a lot of conversations over the past few months to really investigate what's going on, why we're having staffing shortages. There are a lot of factors that are contributing to it, and I think just our standards and our programming alone are going to alleviate a lot of those issues. But yes, we have some plans to work through that, and part of our motivation to going to like the smart markets and the RADs is to address the staffing issues that we see across the country. It's just harder to find staff in general, especially in the food service industry, that we got hit pretty hard with COVID with that. And so adding that technology in assists with that, so we can move people to the locations where we need them to move to. But our company is very people first, people focused. We have a lot of programming surrounding our associates to help with retention. But I think some of it's just some basic standards that need to be put in place to increase workplace satisfaction as well.
Senator Nielsen.
Will both dining halls stay open on weekends?
No, it'll be how it is right now for year one. So a lot of this is year one, right? When we write the contract, if we make too many changes, we're guessing what that financial model looks like. So year one will be as is. Chartwells will then come back to me and say, hey, we can do X, Y, and Z to change for year two.
One thing that can help encourage us to open up a second dining hall is utilization of the dining hall on the weekends. So it's really hard for us to, we go 1 year and on the weekends we see, this is shot in the dark to find out a true number, we see 40 people come through on a Saturday. It's really hard for us to say, we definitely need a second hall because we have more than enough space to accommodate. And I realize the convenience side of it, but, the more we can encourage people to utilize the halls, the easier it is to then open more up.
And we'll also say, right, if we convert Ike Schaefer Commons year two into an all here to eat for breakfast and lunch, that gives us some more possibilities to expand in the University Center.
Associate Director Robinson.
First, I want to say thank you for all the work that you guys have done. I know it's been a lot. Thank you so much. I know it's been a lot. I know the transition has been a lot. What is one thing that you want students to remember and to know about Chartwells moving into the new year?
Good question. I would say that we want to hear from you and that it's never bad feedback. And so, we're always trying our best to give the best experience possible, and that's always our goal. But we want to hear right away if there's an issue or if there's something that needs to be changed. It's always difficult when you hear after the fact, and well, there's nothing I can do about that now. If they told me in the moment, we could take care of it right away. So I think we are placing huge importance on our relationship with the student community and really the campus community because everybody uses our services. But students primarily in that we want to have that open communicative relationships that you guys have a great experience. It's not that us against them. So even down to things like how we partner on social media where it's not negative posts constantly about dining, but like, hey, I had this awesome meal at Esker, those types of things. So that, long answer, sorry, but I think really just that we care a lot about that relationship with the students.
I think for me, it really is, right, we're changing to Warhawk dining. It is not comparing Chartwells to Aladdin. It is giving Chartwells the time and the space to create their program and create a new experience on campus. So students are doing the comparison, right? If something goes wrong, we really want Chartwells to be the new face of dining. So the past is the past. We've learned what we needed to do to make improvements. So how do we give Chartwells that space to, there's going to be times that we fall, but how do they get back up and recover from that?
Senator Richards, did you have a question?
Yeah, will there be any dining operations in Moorhead?
In Moorhead?
No, Moorhead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Director Darwin.
Will there be a change in price for meal plan?
Yes, so that also was approved, so meal plans are going up 7%. We are paying Chartwells more to provide all the things we asked them to do. 7%, thanks, Doug, is about $200, I believe, so it's $100 a semester, I think. But again, if you're getting expanded options, you're getting more variety, I think you will see that $100 or the $200 for the total year is well worth the extra cost. We are still going, when I was looking at the chart, we will still be in the lower tier of meal plan. We have the most offerings and the most hours of service compared to any other school outside of Madison and Milwaukee. And we do have more than UW Milwaukee, so.
Director Gillespie.
Any conversations on bringing alcohol service back to the Down Under?
Yeah, great question. So that's for year two. So the DU is getting a complete refresh in year two as well.
Senator Extremo.
So when you're saying year one and year two, do you plan to have all of the renovations and everything done by the end of year two, or are you gonna continue to change things beyond that?
Yes, so our goal is to never be done. So year one will be, what we open with is what you'll see through fall or spring of 25. And then depending on all the construction, so we've had folks here doing scans, doing all the engineering, so we can put together a good 2-year plan of what that looks like. And then in the Chartwell's proposal, there's investment dollars and things for year after year refreshes. So after year 2 won't be done. We won't see probably major construction projects, but facelifts and changing concepts that are internal and things that are easy to do, we will keep that fresh.
And beyond the construction side of things, our company places a huge focus on innovation too. So you might not see the outside completely rebuilt, but you're going to see updates in menus constantly, semester to semester. They're coming out. Like I mentioned, that we place a huge focus on trends. We have trend watches, so we're updating our menus to what students currently want. Or we're looking at concepts and how can we switch some of these concepts up if it's not a national brand where we're required to have certain things. So there's a lot to that innovation beyond just building.
And just remember, national brands cost more money.
Associate Director Robinson.
You touched on it a bit, but I was just wondering, so I have to put this in 2 parts. So our premium dinner is gonna continue, is that something that's gonna continue?
Yes.
And then my second question is, I've heard the rumors about Chartwell's catering. Can you speak to some of the catering options that you guys have?
I apologize, I didn't touch on catering. I'm former catering director, so that was me. So catering will now be called Purple Plate Catering once we take over. So we brought on a fantastic catering director. He just had his first day today. We're currently finishing up working on our cater track site, so we will utilize cater tracks, but it will be a new site. So if any of you have ordered for a student group before, please know that your old account doesn't transfer over because it's 2 separate sites, but we are working on a single sign-on option to connect with UWW's single sign-on. We're working on the student menu right now, but you'll see a variety of options. Again, we try to stay on trend, but we're always open to doing custom menus. We want to, do something that makes sense with your event, or we'll take your budget and try to create something that fits within that. So we are looking to have that student catering menu that's a little bit lower price, plus the expanded options of our regular catering menu. And you'll see some differences in the looks and things too. So we're working on smaller packages right now and all of those standards.
Senator Patrice.
What will construction look like year 1 and year 2 and between?
Yeah, I can't really speak to that, because we are just really in the early phases of selecting the CAD drawings that were done 40 years ago that aren't accurate. So, Charles came in and said, we want to move this wall, and we're like, yeah, you can't, that's a load-bearing wall, you can't move that. So we're really in the early stages of identifying what we can and can't do. So year 1, really the only thing you're gonna see is the facelifts to the residence halls, and then Duncan, and then the Einstein's location, and then year 2, the goal of the focus is the DU and ICE.
And our goal too, when that construction is up, you have those temporary walls, so it's not necessarily a construction mess all over the UC. It's boarded up so people can see. But we always try to do large signage stuck to those temporary walls saying coming soon to keep it exciting so it doesn't look like a construction zone, especially when you have tours coming through. And there's a lot that we're working on our end for once that construction starts for having expanded communication so people know what's going on.
Senator Beaton.
When will this news be public? Like, when can we talk about this?
You can talk about it now. Really, we're waiting for the Board of Regents to be finalized, which was last week. So we have one last catering piece. I got some news today that you're not aware of, but a couple of dates with the transition that we need to work through, and then we'll be sending out a campus announcement. So if everything is public, you're welcome to talk about it. Yeah, one of the things I've been saying, if you haven't heard it from me, it's probably not true. So you're hearing it from us, so there you go.
I've heard a lot of out there rumors, and I'm just a temporary office, so.
Senator Alster.
It was mentioned that you believe that sometime in October, the Dunkin' Donuts would be done. What about the Einstein's transitioning to the smart market? Is that the same time frame?
It's hard to say, again, just because it relies a lot on Dunkin' actually being done in October. And we're just working through the plans for Einstein's and exactly what the university wants to do. So depending on the route that we go with that, it's gonna change, how long.
So Einstein's will be up while Dunkin's down. Then when Dunkin goes down, or when Dunkin goes up, Einstein's will go down.
Okay, thanks.
So I would say the goal would be spring semester some point to have that. A lot less equipment need type things in there in regards to plumbing, and so hopefully not as long of a time frame.
Thank you.
I see a question from the gallery.
So will there be any changes on whether it be renovations or expansion of the food pantry on campus?
So we're also working on, yes, the food pantry actually has a new supervisor, Tanya Capitian. So she is just getting her feet wet right now, so she's looking to expand hours, learning all the ins and outs of how we can use money to fund it, where we need to get more collection. But yes, in the food insecurity was part of the proposal, so there'll be some more integration of how we can provide support for food insecurity in campus. TBD on what that looks like exactly, but yes, that is part of the conversation.
Another question from the gallery.
To clarify, I might have missed this part, but the 750 is usable throughout all like the campus facilities, right? If this change were to go through.
The only one it would not work at is the coffee shop run out of the residential hall.
Okay.
Yeah, genders it would not, yep. So on campus only.
Okay.
With that, I see no further questions, so thank you both so much for coming in. Moving forward, sorry.
If I may be so bold to ask the deputy speaker to consider the UC-related topic on the agenda next, so.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So executive director could get a little bit, thank you.
I would like to ask for unanimous consent to move the external committee report to the advisory board up before the approval of agenda amendments. Any opposed?
Appreciate it, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, hi, it's me again. So now I'm gonna take off my dining hat, put my UC hat on. So last year we worked on a UC facilities use policy that created a baseline of what was provided when we reserved a room. So it's been going great. I think, I check in with the building operations staff. I think people are much clearer on what they get with the setup, what our lighting options are, all of that. So I think it's been going really well. We've learned a lot, so we've got some clarifications for you to review. So for this policy to move forward with revisions, it needs WSG approval and then administrative approval. So I do have it to pull up.
I'm trying to get to the right person.
Thank you. So 90% of the changes are, right? It used to say UW system, now it says Universities of Wisconsin. Or we did some title changes, so now the titles have the correct title. So there's a lot of just changes of clarification. There's a couple of things that I think are important for us to review.
Sorry,
It's okay.
I'm slow as. You might talk about the advisory committee.
Yes, so thank you. So on Friday, the UC advisory committee met, and I can turn that over to Nick if you want to give more of an update. But we presented it, and there were just a couple of clarifications to add, so I can talk about those once we get that as well. Anything else to add?
Facility use policy, we approved it initially last year. Actually every single change I saw I liked. So I would say the big one for me was adding like labor costs in there, because believe it or not, you gotta pay people for work that they do. So.
And again, one of the reasons we created this baseline, and there's a different cost for those who've never seen this, for student groups and for departments. So there is a difference, right? Because we know that the University Center is funded primarily from our non-eligible SAG fee. So our goal with this is to not put all of our costs on the back of students, but create a little bit of additional revenue. We created about $12,000 in revenue this year that we have already invested back. With our change in labor model of providing building supervisors, building managers throughout the day, we actually went over our budget about $30,000 plus to cover that. So we haven't even made up all of that, but we're figuring out a different way to do that. And hopefully you've seen your service level increase of when you're being greeted at meetings, your tech support. We're working on making sure it's easier to navigate the tech in the rooms. All of that is where that money gets reallocated into. Great, thank you all for pulling this up. So anything in red here, which I know is a little bit difficult to see, but the University Center last summer went through a new mission statement, so that was updated. as we talked a little bit about, there we go. If you wanna scroll up a little bit for me, like I said, we talked a little bit about the University of Wisconsin being updated.
Yeah, it's
Catching up.
some risk management.
Risk management, yep.
And then one of this was just to help people understand better.
So one of the things that we are working very hard, we know there have been many frustrations with reservations and our current procedures. We are looking very closely at that over the summer to improve that communication. So I think one of the biggest things is, right, when you reserve a room, you get a tentative confirmation, and then they confirm it from you, but a lot of people just take that as a confirmation, and it creates some points of contention sometimes, or confusion. So we just put that to make sure that you understand that when you book a room, you're receiving a tentative confirmation, and especially if you have a more complicated set, you will receive a full confirmation once we've met with you. Again, we changed to building operations, as Caleb, building operations manager, some title changes to reflect the work we're doing. The biggest changes are towards the end here. Okay. We added the event policy, so that wasn't in there, formerly known as a special event policy, so those larger events on campus, we added that was missing as a reference point. So there's no changes to any of the costs. We're not increasing any of our costs. Those are all remaining the same. I think it's on page 2 or 3 here as we get to that point. We changed some of the language. So right, 268, 260, those are fixed sets. So you cannot ask for a different set in there. That we physically cannot do that. So again, we upgraded our meeting rooms that were not hybrid compatible before, but are now hybrid compatible. So you're seeing that in red. UC 69, I believe, said it was, I think Ben said it was like $1,000 or something like that. So just a clarification on that piece again, and that's for the kind of anybody looking from the outside looking to come in and use the university center. And we, Ben, who was our UC assistant director for building operations, came to us from the corporate world. Our prices are significantly lower than you would see any other place if you were booking rooms in hotels or corporate structures or things. So still want to make sure that we're competitive in bringing folks in, especially on downtimes when we don't have students on campus. We added the Whitewater room in Esker. Does everyone know where the Whitewater room? So if you're in Esker, there's a room that's attached, that's called the Whitewater room. So one of the things as we move in this transition, instead of, ordering catering, you could reserve the Whitewater room and have your event in there and just eat non-catering dining hall. So instead of spending $15 on catering, you could spend $10 on the cash line price and people could get whatever they wanted to eat. So you could have your meeting in that facility. But because of where it's located, you have to be able to eat in there in that connection. So just another catering option that we added some clarification on. And then some additional lights, just again, some clarification on where more of our uplighting that we're offering. And again, that's to the corporate side, no cost to our students. There are some of the lighting capabilities that we have that are a little bit more labor intensive. So we're asking, as Nick talked about, sorry, I should get that right, about the $25 labor charge to help because that is extra labor above and beyond what a typical set would look like. And again, when you're asking for those things, you'll be meeting with someone from UC Reservations to talk through all of that. We have added, so a ViewSonic kiosk is a portable monitor that we can roll in and out for you to be able to advertise your events. And I think, again, the next one is kind of the Hamilton room. So depending, right, if you're looking for music in between things and you're looking for PowerPoints and videos and X, Y, and Z kind of above and beyond just a typical meeting, we have to have additional staff on for some of those things. So again, these will all be agreed upon between you and the person you meet with for your advising meeting. The second here under miscellaneous equipment, this is for things that are outside of the UC. So for example, athletics will call me up and be like, Angela, we need some of these black skybags. Well, we didn't have a mechanism to charge them because it wasn't on our chart. So we have added these. If people want to rent these from us, they're now able to do so at a charge. So if they don't come back or they come back ruined, we have money to go back. They cost way more than $3, I will tell you that. So again, just wanted to make sure we're putting everything that's available and providing to campus, because we are really pride ourselves in the events we put on and the level of support we're able to provide, and we know that not every campus building is able to do that, so we wanted to be able to expand our services to assist with those meetings and events that are outside of our building. After the chancellor's inauguration, we bought some pipe and drape. So pipe and drape is what you would see in the background with the black curtain typically. So we also have, through UC Graphics and Marketing, purchased photo box. So you can rent our photo box. So literally it's a box that prints photos tied to your phone, right? So you take your photo and it'll print out a picture for you. So instead of a photo booth, it's a portable box that you can customize with whatever your event is, so that's available. So we just got that up. We thought this would be another good way for advertising, so people knew it was available for your events. So I believe those are all the changes. Just again, some language changes to academic breaks, clearing up. We did not have a clarification on our hours, right? This is if you're looking to be in the building before open or after close. So, anything else you can think of in the meeting?
Karaoke.
Yes, karaoke, access to streaming services. Yes, I have good streaming. Any questions that I can help clarify?
I want to point out that as UC is primarily, as Michael pointed out earlier, UC is primarily paid through by student site fees, which are $1,485 per year per student. So to reserve a room on campus as a student board, you've already paying for it, so you're not paying an additional cost.
So only the extra things that don't come in a typical set.
Any other questions?
So they would be looking for a motion to endorse the update to the facilities use policy.
I move that this agenda item be moved to next week's meeting, being that we did not receive the document prior to this moment.
Is there a second for that motion? Senator Klinger?
I second.
Awesome.
Voice vote? Any opposed? Seeing none, is that a point out?
Point of clarification. What will be the plan moving forward? Will you send out on the listserv? Will it be in the packet next week? How will we proceed forward?
The packet had already gone out. So.
Who's that?
That'll be up to the discretion of the speaker regarding next week's agenda.
It absolutely can go out on the listserv as a public document. So. Send it right now. What? You can send it right now if you'd like, Madam Clerk. Yes, please. Send it. Send it now.
Thank you for coming here.
Thank you. You do it. If you want to do it, great. Just go be out of here, that's fine. Okay.
They're going to come up later. Sure.
Oh, okay. Oh.
We didn't talk about how facilities these policies. This is more comprehensive than one. So there's a new UC patio project, which will be developed further on, but they're gonna share this initial
Conceptual drawing.
conceptual. It is conceptual. It will not look like this, to be very clear, but you can think of the idea. If you struggle like page 10 maybe.
You gotta,
There we go. So it'll look. So again, it won't look exactly like this. It'll look very different. Maybe not very different, but it'll look different than this. But
Maybe we could share why it works.
yeah. So there's gonna be more green, I believe, instead of just plants. That area doesn't get a ton of sun, so instead of just a ton of foliage,
This part will go away.
yeah, it'll be just like green.
multi-purpose space.
Yeah.
So it'll be more open space for people to be.
Yep.
They are fairly certain they'll have at least 2 fire pit areas, an area that can be used for yard games, and it would involve moving the lay of the land, which is the sculpture piece that kind of separates the University Center from Minnehaska Falls. They'll be relocating that to open up the bottom part, right? So this is all.
Where's the right
It's right here.
It's right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
There'll be more. Also, the stage will not be raised, I don't believe, so.
It's accessible. It's
Yeah.
accessible.
I believe the fireplaces you'll have to call a building manager for, but you just call that, they'll come turn it on for you. That's to not just waste a ton of gas. But.
Important to know that the furniture is just conceptual for you to help you understand the size of the space. I'm trying to think what else next. Sorry, I don't want to be hanging. There's been talk, as you can see, there's some lights that are hung out there. We're hoping to have it be a very vibrant space with programming at the very least, Friday night live and food outside with the food truck. So it will have all the necessary electric, gas, all that kind of stuff that'll be embedded. So it'll be something very easy for the space to use. There was, or maybe some down the road, conversation about people using that space during the summer more likely than during the school year as a potential revenue stream for the University Center for rentals. And I think other pieces are TBD. Could you have a couple hammocks up? Could you have some shade stuff? So right now it's conceptually, there's been money that's been identified, that students have already set aside, that they set aside 2 years ago. The project is going to be north of $300,000. I know, I was trying to be kind. $400,000 that will be partially funded by multiple sources to be arranged, but Angela has worked really hard to have this be a sooner than later project, because otherwise it would have been not done before any of you were here.
This is budgeted in the 25 budget to not increase, we did not increase the UC fee, this will come out of UC reserves. So there will not be an increase to state fees to fund this project.
And the location is right here, between here and the academic advising building. When I first saw this, I was confused where we're going, but it's just right on this lawn. It's right there, instead of imagining instead of grass, this.
Questions, Director Gillespie?
Is there a name for this thing?
UC patio project.
How big do you have a check?
Yeah.
I
guess that's the other thing we didn't talk about is there are bricks. We're hoping to sell the bricks where people could buy the bricks to recoup some of our money, and then you could have your name and stamps and grades, whatever, as we get to that point as well.
I'm gonna do an internet homework.
And WSG will be recognized, WSG, yes, will be recognized somehow, somewhere. Those are the TBD details when we get to the actual, I need everyone's support that I keep moving this forward. So.
Yeah, for the newer senators to the group, student government leadership worked with Angela initially and identified those fees and got approval for those fees to be set aside and held on hand to support that project. So that's, she's not just being nice to us, because student leadership worked with her leadership to make it possible.
So if you see me in my office sleeping at night, you'll know why I got a lot going on.
Okay, so that was the patio project. We discussed the facility use policy, which we already talked about. Discussed dining transition, which you can see today. SAI updates. Make a Difference Day is April 26th. UC Live continues to have great success. Suffield Workshop saw over 250 participants. The Involvement Awards are April 28th. Shifting away from Connect to campus groups. So if you're familiar with how bad Connect is.
You're not alone.
Yeah. Partnering with FYE and Residence Life to push that to first year students. Student org recognition is coming up. So if you are in a student org, make sure it's recognized if you want to hear next year. There weren't any business and dining services updates as there was no assistant director of business and dining services currently being hired. The Hawk Card office, though, I did look, has the fall 24 prices on this website for next year for dining. So if you look at the Hawk Card website, prices are up. And building operations, some rooms are being updated with cameras. The Hamilton room curtain bid was out, and the May 3rd bids are expected back. They went with charcoal as a color. So.
It was purple.
We have some debate. I know this is in the fall about what color, but ultimately, Ben decided to go with.
Well, all of us.
I was gonna say not that. It was democratic. It just there were more votes for gray than there were purple.
Oh, that's democratic.
Ultimately, it's decided to go charcoal, but. I'm seeing questions come through. I don't know.
I think there's questions on the web. Or others.
Who's waiting to join?
Yeah. With that, I yield to questions for UC board, my full report.
I see a question from the gallery.
How much will the bricks be, and like, will I get like a copy?
TBD.
TBD on the cost, and you can easily, I remember taking a crayon and going over the brick and making a nice little cemento. We'll find ways that you can, we'll take your picture with it if you'd like.
Oh, that would be really
Okay, all right. We'll do a photo shoot with the photo box. All right.
Any further questions for Senator Patricus?
Is there anything on the?
I think it was somebody requesting to join.
Oh.
Seeing no further questions, thank you, Senator Patricus, for your report. I entertain unanimous consent to take a 5-minute recess. Is there any?
You can actually just.
I'll second that. Okay, we'll take a 5-minute recess. I'll see you all back at 8:50.
Bro, my computer.
Well done for your lengthy conversation.
I really didn't know because I've been lost to Friday, so you know the thing that you told me to last night?
Yeah.
I also don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna yeah, for the last part.
Get over.
You wanna get the hell out? Okay. It's so cold in here. I'm shivering. What should motion against cancer? No. I just got here.
We're gonna come around, you get the information.
Sure.
Speaker.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no say in the Senate, I can't make a motion. I can infer, make a motion. I say we use the color. To make a motion. It's like
Every meeting for the rest of the year is going to be long, so we meet early. Next
We took an intermission. Or what's it, a recess? Then an hour, we took another recess. 45 minutes after that, an hour recess.
I am aware that is an option. I just want something to be that up so bad. I would have.
Some senators are starting to
All about a yield hour course.
You are?
No, I didn't.
Sorry, pardon me. It's happening. One, two, three.
We probably can't wait for a donut. What?
Have you been looking at
This Friday?
I have a wrestling bench fan.
Hello.
An army.
And then our parking meeting's at night, and I might have a special menu of all of that work. I'd much rather be on a golf cart.
Good luck on your assignments today.
Do what? Do what over what? I missed it. What was that?
I think that should be the question.
Do what over what? I missed it.
I still like this.
I know.
I got home. You know what? For this meeting, I'm gonna wish you lost.
Nope, that's all. I chose to
Alright.
I'm a fine. I've been very busy and I still have.
That's all I know. Pretty, yeah.
That's okay. No one.
And there's something else.
We have the educational review.
Yeah, what is that? Who's that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Speaker. Deputy Speaker. Acting Speaker.
I know.
Live it up. Speaker.
Thank you.
Of course. There is.
Please take your seat.
Yeah, you will.
Oh, all right.
I'm not.
Alright, you take your our regularly scheduled business.
Kubrick.
Beginning with the approval of the agenda. Our approval of the minutes from April 8th, 2024. Motion, Senator Davis.
Move to approve.
Second, Senator Rosequist. Voice vote.
Acclamation.
The minutes from April 8th have been approved. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the agenda for April 15th. I see that motion from Senator Lamb. Is there a second? Senator Wheatman, second. Voice vote.
Acclamation.
Any dissent? And that motion is adopted. Are there any student issues and concerns with the gallery this evening? Seeing none. We'll move into reports with the general education review.
Okay, let's see. So on Friday, I met with the General Education Review Committee. We discussed different courses, approved a new course, which is Film 491, which is a Los Angeles travel study. We also approved Latinx 201, Intro Latin Studies. They changed personal health and fitness to make it more hands-on, which was also approved. And there was some minor changes to Theater 200, and due to budget cuts, we will no longer be offering beginning skin and scuba diving, which a lot of people are upset to hear. But we also discussed how enrollment lowers for Gen Eds each spring semester compared to fall, and trying to figure out how to fix that.
Any questions or senators? Parliamentarian Curtis.
What were some of the changes that were made to the personal health and fitness class?
They're just like making it more like going on group walks together. They want to show people the trails, stuff like that.
Any further questions? Seeing none, we will move into officer reports, beginning with their executive report, beginning with President.
Awesome. Okay, hello everyone. It's good night, I should say, it's 9 o'clock. But okay, I'm gonna try to speed run this, but I forgot 2 things in my report that are a little bit lengthier, not really, kinda. So I'll just get right into it. So this morning I had the chance to attend the final SPPC meeting of the semester with Vice President Reiser. And with that, I kind of wanted to address the UWW financial and strategic assessment. So I don't know how many of you have heard, and I know I kind of kept it under wraps because that's kind of been my job all year to kind of keep our financial state kind of confidential so that no one like freaks out when we hear a lot of money that we owe in a deficit. But the president of the universities of Wisconsin had tasked all the schools to eliminate their deficit by 2028. Our chancellor has challenged us to eliminate ours by 2026. With that, at the beginning of the year, it was about $11.3 million we had in our deficit throughout time. And deficit doesn't just mean debt, it means like positions that you have that aren't filled, like all of that's kind of accommodated into it. So through eliminating of positions or hiring in positions, we've gotten that number down to the midpoint was about 3.14 million. I remember that because it's pi. And then we came back after winter break, after they said they were doing more kind of cuts and see what more we can do, and now it's around $1 million. So those are big strides. I kind of just gave you the spark notes of it all. With that being said, there's been this term, a Deloitte report that has been going on. It was basically an assessment of all the UWW schools to kind of assess where our growth opportunities are, where we can eliminate our deficit, and it kind of all addressed the deficit on our campus as well as others. Why it didn't come out till April 11th, which was Thursday, was because they had to assess all schools and then they kind of compare us to one another to make their final recommendations. With that being said, I just kind of wanted to identify the takeaways, our 5 primary opportunities that were identified through this. It was a tool. The Deloitte report was a tool. Now it's referenced as the UWW Financial and Strategic Assessment as a whole new name now. So the 5 primary opportunities identified are to improve retention by enhancing the student journey, which we love to hear, diversify enrollment strategy, develop a policy-based approach to academic portfolio, leverage Rock County to achieve UW-Whitewater's strategic vision, and create a culture of urgency and accountability. So with that being said, a lot of this report that came back aligned with our current strategic plan. So nothing was that surprising to many individuals who were working on this. And I just kind of want to go over the goals of us now that we've kind of taken in all this information. And they kind of relate back to the primary objectives, but it's to maintain enrollment, increase our retention rate above previous high mark of 82%, which we were at once. I believe we're in the 70s now. Deliver on our strategic plan, so actually follow through with everything we have outlined, which, if you haven't taken a look at it, it's on our UWW website. It really has some interesting stuff in there that I think a lot of the students' feedback was implemented, and ideally it's going to make for a better campus culture and help the overall goal of retention for us. And then additionally, there's just 2 more points of their goals. Stabilize finances, goal of $0 deficit by 2025-2026 school year, which I already mentioned, and then address compensation and inflationary pressures. So those are kind of the points I wanted to touch on. For the old reference is the Deloitte report, new reference, UWW Financial and Strategic Assessment. As students, there wasn't that much of a worry there. There was for a period of time, just because when you hear Dr. say you have to eliminate money, you're like, what's gonna get cut? And is like the fun, good things gonna get cut? I can assure you that that's not the case here. And everything was kind of done with retention being the main goal. With that being said, I kind of want to sideways segue, which also isn't in the report. But one thing that Advisor Billigan is going to help me with is my final kind of like hoorah project, and I'm going to collaborate with Associate Director Dobke, is retention efforts and kind of highlighting the resources on campus that we don't even know about. Like, I don't even know these yet. Jan's going to help me know them. But for an example, our university offers a stipend to students up until a certain amount that commute for gas each semester. Did you know that? I didn't know that. So little things like that aren't just like the advising and things like that will keep our students here, that are very helpful. Because how many of us are going to walk away and be like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that was a thing after like our four or however many years you are here. So that's kind of that with SPDC and the UWW Financial and Strategic Assessment. Another fun thing, this is an exciting thing. The excused absence policy was approved and will be going into effect in the fall. Abby will follow up to ensure that the policy is correct, the one that was sent, just to make sure all wording is correct there. But that is super exciting because I heard back from the chancellor regarding that. But now just rerun the rest. Okay, so Warhawk's vote meeting is on Thursday. I hope to attend. I don't have any conflicts as of now, so fingers crossed. I also have an awareness meeting with the Dean of Students and the Chief on Thursday with some members within WSG 2, just to kind of talk about how we can help all students on campus and then in certain situations that may arise. And then also there's an all-day foundation board meeting that I'm hoping to pop in and out of, because I know there's a constitutional revision committee on Friday that I'll be in, and then there's also a parking presentation preparation meeting once again on Friday. So I'm going to kind of be going in and out between meetings all day. But with that being said, I hope you all have a great week. I know as the weather gets warm, it's super hard to stay focused and locked in with your academics or office hours or staying inside when you want to be outdoors, because that's me too. So I hope all of you are able to finish your year out strong within WSG, but also, and most importantly, within your academics. And with that, I yield.
Are there any questions for President Izzo? Seeing none, we'll move into the board level. President?
Alright, hi everyone. Alright, so last week I attended Faculty Senate. Again, that was really informational. Then I had a meeting with Provost Chenoweth. We talked about the excused absence policy. He will be working with Kristen Plessel, and they'll be updating the locations for that for the upcoming semester in the fall. I've been continuing to work on instructor awards. So again, that's next Wednesday, April 24th at 4 in the UC Old Main Ballroom. And then also, I've been coordinating the banquet. So the Senator of the Year Round 1 form is due tonight. From there, I'll be sending another form out tomorrow morning to finalize who the Senator of the Year is. Then also, the banquet RSVP form, if everyone could pull out their computer, if they have not filled the form out, and fill that out so that I can see for catering who is going to be able to come, so that I can get the numbers finalized. So if everyone could do that right now, that would be really great. Yes. And it will be $28 for guests, and the payment you can bring to me for those guests, WSG members. It's free, it's paid for, and it'll be good food. And then also just some extra things that weren't on my report. For advising, there is a focus group for the people that got a survey last semester. So that's only half of the student body. So if you filled out a survey last semester, then you should have gotten an email from Jessica Stein, who's the interim director of advising, for you to participate in a focus group. That will be next Tuesday from 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 in Esker 120. So that would be really great if you could go to that. And then also, there is the engagement and climate survey. And that is due tomorrow at midnight, and the chancellor sent that out. So, with that, I yield to any questions.
Any questions by President Rector? We'll skip over the report of the treasurer building for now, and move into executive reports, beginning with report Director Bradley. Sorry.
All right, y'all, I'm gonna keep this quick tonight. I'd like to call special attention to point number 2 in my report. I attended a presentation, Lawyers for Learners. We're bringing back free legal counsel for students. I included a list of what qualifies for that support, what does not qualify. I also have some information and dates of virtual webinars that can give you more information. If you're interested in that or have any questions, please come speak to me, but for the sake of time, I'm going to yield the rest of my report. Please read it.
Any questions for Director Bradley? Seeing none, we'll move into the report of Associate Director Robinson.
I'm working on parking. I have a meeting with the dean of students. I'll yield the rest of my report.
Are there any questions for Associate Director Robinson? Alright, seeing none, we'll move into the report of Director Gillespie.
Please fill out my QR code. That is all I use in my report.
Any questions for Director Gillespie? Senator Rice.
This says for August 21st. Is this for street?
Oh, is it August? Oh, Lord, autocorrect got me.
Sorry.
Do I have to make a motion to fix that, or can I?
It's fine.
Okay,
My bad.
sorry.
April.
Are there any other questions for Director Gillespie? Alright, moving on, we'll move to the report of Associate Director Dupke.
I'm also going to keep it short real quick. Just a reminder, PR committee is meeting this week Wednesday at 3:30 in our usual room, UC 260. Please share the reel I posted today, and then I finished the banquet invitations. And then please reach out if you're interested in visiting Rock County to go to the SGA meeting this week. I do have one more spot in my car and would love to bring as many senators there as possible. So that I yield to my report.
Any questions for Associate Director Dupke? Seeing none, we will move into the report of Worthington.
Hey y'all, tomorrow and Wednesday, vote for your student body president. Don't forget, you'll get the email. It goes out at midnight. I'll get all 4 of them on my behalf just so that I can see it, not the little ones. So you'll know. But me and Kim Clarkson worked on that just to make sure that I know that all 4 emails went out to every single district. So you'll be getting that at midnight this morning, so Tuesday, 12 a.m. And then the ballot will close on Thursday at 12 a.m. Please note that. Please vote. Okay. That's because more than your computer just died.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I have the Constitution Revision Committee on Wednesday. Ballot counting is Friday, and then we all vote on the results next Monday, so be ready for that. And then Friday presentation on Monday as well. So have a great week. Don't forget to vote.
Any questions for Director Worthington? Great, we'll move to the report of Senator Rodriguez.
If I was wanting to vote, how would I vote?
It's in your student email. But if you need a paper ballot, please let me know. That is an option as well, but it is in your email. If you have issues, come talk to me at the meeting if you think you're going to have issues. And we can set up a time for you to come into the office and do it in that time period.
Any other questions? Alright, we'll move to the report of Parliamentarian Kurtz.
Alright, hello everyone, happy Monday. First reminder is your final outreach is due Friday, April 26th. If you join Director Dupke at UROC or Director Gillespie with the spring splash cleanup, that will count for an outreach event. If you'd like to do tabling before the end of the semester, please let me know, I can arrange that for you. The last day to submit an S-bill, is this Friday, April 19th. Last day to submit an R-bill is Friday, April 26th. And then lastly, the CRT will be meeting for the first time on Wednesday. So if you have any suggested edits to the standing rules and constitution, please submit them to the speaker by the end of the evening tomorrow. With that, other questions?
Not really a question, a comment. I believe everybody here on this side of the table will be at the spring splash cleanup. So come join us. We need as much help as we can. Collecting, working very hard on that. It's really a lot of work in the community. It's really why it's important, so.
Associate Director Robinson.
Encourage all of you to attend. I'll be there bright and early. Director Bradley will be there bright and early. President Izzo will be there bright and early. It's gonna be a fun time.
President Izzo.
Sorry, this is like not what's needed, but I'll be there probably before it starts because I have an event at 11. I don't have a problem waking up early on Sunday. So I'll be there probably at 9 if anyone wants to join me.
Is there any questions for parliamentary clerk? Seeing none, we move into my report. Apologies for not submitting a report. Please do your office hours, fill out the office hour form. Any of the aforementioned events will count as an office hour. Put that in the form. You can double dip. We make it really easy for you to complete your obligation. Other than that, I yield to questions. Seeing none, Mr. Adams, do you have a report? Mr. Adams, do you have a
I
report?
do not have a report this week. I'll get back to everyone next week with a longer report. Thank you.
Thank you. Brilliant. And with that, we'll move to announcements. Vice President Biden.
Please fill out the RSVP form. Even if you can't go, just say no so then I know not to reach out to you later on. Thank you.
Huge shout out to Deputy Speaker Smith on their first meeting as acting speaker. Well done.
Associate Director Robinson.
Come out to the WCC event tomorrow. Learn about Middle Eastern and North African regions tomorrow.
If you would like to donate blood, there's a Red Cross blood donation at Esther this Thursday.
Associate Director Knapp.
So I'll also be at the WCC event tomorrow, but I implore you all to attend. My sorority is also hosting a dunk tank event on Wednesday, and I'll be in the dunk tank before peer committee, so we'd love to see you all there. And then a student reached out to our Instagram today and would like to invite anyone who's interested in making a volleyball team. They're having a volleyball fundraiser this weekend. If anyone would like to know any more information, I can send that to you as well.
Senator Patricus.
Thursday, 12 to 6, donate blood in Esker.
Senator Patricus.
Alright, I forgot.
Senator Wilmington. Sorry. Senator Wheaton.
I am here on behalf, I'm speaking on behalf of the Pi Sigma Epsilon Beta Gamma chapter here on campus. As this past week, we were in St. Louis and we called it a Whitewater Sweep. We won a bunch of awards, but we do want to acknowledge that Jack Dummer won the year-long Pro-Am sales competition. He won first place, as well as our whole chapter got top silver, second place top silver, which is the second highest award you can achieve at our national conference, which is recognizing the past 5 years of our hard work improving our chapter. And we just want to acknowledge that out of over 200 competitors, our chapter took eight out of the 200 to the second round, which is only 26. We had the largest representation of people continuing to go up, leading to top 5 and getting third and second place in the highest competition at nationals.
Don't forget to vote, please.
President Newsom.
So it seems like Thursday is such a hot topic day, I guess. So my sorority is doing a beanbags tournament. If you're interested, at our house, it's the tan one right off of Main Street in Prairie. You can win money if you enter. Grab you and a friend if you want. I might be playing, so you can play against me. Pretty good. But yeah, it's on Thursday from 3 to 5.
Okay. With mobile ordering coming to more locations next year, try it. Tell a friend. Tell your friend to try it. Tell your friend to tell a friend. Because the more people we have using this, the more kinks will be worked out, the more people will be used to it, the less confusion there will be on my end. the less confusion I'll have to deal with. So tell everyone you know, plus more, about mobile ordering.
Senator Barry. Saw him raise his hand.
Hi y'all. So Lambda Chi Alpha is doing a food drive, so if you have any like canned food or anything like that, just bring it to the Lambda house or bring it to one of us. Thank you.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but our sororities also have a bake sale, Wednesday.
Oh, yeah.
Feel free to come to the UC.
Yeah.
Support your local.
We love babies.
Is that, and this also Senator.
Oh.
Okay. I have an announcement. Whitewater Common Council meets tomorrow. I'm getting sworn into Whitewater Common Council tomorrow. Feel free to come join me. We'll also be voting on the new memorandum of understanding between the city and the university regarding polling places on campus. So if you want to be there for that, please feel free to contact us at the municipal building at 6:30. Going around, Senator Roosevelt.
Okay, I'm sorry. If anyone needs an outreach event, Association for Supply Chain Management would love to have someone come in. I'm the current vice president, and newly elected president. And we have not had a WSG representative in at all since I've been a part of it. So if anyone's interested, feel free to talk to me. I can definitely get you in there.
Seeing that we're announcements, Advisor Bill, did you have a report?
My apologies. When someone 2 layers above you calls, you take the call, so my apologies to everyone. I would just say the only thing that's really super important, went to a really interesting immigration program today that really did a nice job of dialing down and understanding what the person experiences, so that was really cool. But also, that there is an opportunity this summer, if someone's interested and who can be available on campus or via WebEx, to serve on a committee that's going to look at a wayfinding, which is the directional signage that's on the outside on campus, because I don't know about y'all, but we don't really have any, really to, there's a little map. But Chris is looking for 1 or 2 people that would be willing to serve. They'll probably have 3 or 4 meetings. So if you are interested in that, which I think would be a really great committee to have student input, especially the younger you are, the better it is, because you have experience not knowing where things are most recently, I would love to get an email from you tomorrow and tell me that you're interested, and I will forward your name to Administrator, I can't think of Chris's last name at the moment, sorry. I would just say that that would be great if you could share with that, share me your interest, and those of you who have agreed to meet with the Vice President of Diversity, Inclusion, and Belonging from Universities of Wisconsin System tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Thank you for that. We'll see you right at 1 o'clock in the Walmart Connection Center. So sorry.
Are there any questions for Advisor Gilpin? Are there any other announcements? Great, with that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Senator Rodriguez.
Move to adjourn.
All right, I'll take a second. Senator Rice. Voice vote?
Acclamation.
Any dissent? With that, we adjourn at 9:15.
He's gone.